What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Dokkan Battle, and today we're going to be talking about the Transformation Boost team and the ongoing saga that is the 200% Freza event. Let's just jump into it right now. As we jump into this event, you're going to see here, first of all, I am using Limo. I'm not using the Takoyaki because I'm actually out of that. I got to farm up some more, and that's going to cost keys. So for now, I'm just going to be using Limo, and honestly, Cell doesn't really care. He doesn't mind what orb you use. Just any old orb will do. But there's a really interesting point I want to make here, and it's something we actually learned the other night while doing the Freza event. All right, so let's go ahead and change the orbs here real quick, and I'll kind of get to my point here real quick. All right, this should do all the orbs, all but one. That's fine. That's going to be more than enough. We still collect all the orbs. We just don't get the extra 5%. It's not a huge deal, but you'll notice that I only have level 1 link boost on Cell, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna want to change that if your units are only level 1 links. That's a lot of it's just I don't use the Cell very often. I use so many other units that I've just never grounded as link levels. That's gonna change here in a moment. But more to the point, let's look at his damage. So 24.1 million attack stat, and we get max damage. But wait a minute, hold the phone. Why is Goku not dead? We did max damage. Well, as we learned the other night, it's not actually max damage. What we did was about 161 million damage. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. That's a huge, huge, huge number. How did I come to that? Well, let me explain. So we've got another run here, and this really isn't going to be an impressive run. The entire point here is just to kind of get a base amount of damage out of Cell and to see what kind of numbers we're seeing on him. Now, bear in mind, we didn't get criticals, we didn't get anything like that. We're looking at just basic damage. There's really no question in my mind that had he gotten a critical there, he would have won. But as we've determined with the prior attempts, you can't really rely on criticals. For some reason, they just seem like they're toned down. Okay, so worth noting, let's go back here for a moment. That is a 2.6 mil. 2.66 mil attack stat, and let's see how much damage he does. Alright, I'm going to back up here for a moment. This is all pre-recorded, of course. Bam. 17.7 million. If you math that out, that comes out to be about a multiplier of 6.65, give or take. Obviously, there's some RNG involved there, but about 6.65 times the amount of damage that you get out of a unit that you put in, at least under Transformation Boost. That's the numbers we're seeing here. So, if you actually math out the amount of damage we got out of the 24 mil, it comes out to be roughly about 161.3 is the number I actually got, but, you know, we're going to round up here. Let's just say roughly 160 million damage out of that hit. I believe that's the numbers we got. I mean, it's a crazy number, but it's not enough to one-shot Goku, all right? So what do we got to do here? Well, first of all, you're going to have to level up link levels. 100%. You've got to go at this. There's another thing I've noticed in here, and we're going to get to that here in just a second. Let me kind of jump over here to that fight and see if we can get that information out. So I've actually got all the orbs changed here, so I'm going to pause this for a moment. I did change all the orbs, and you'll notice that all my link levels now, if I pause this, are right around between 4 and 6. Most of them are averaging about 5. Attack 17.5%. That's up from the 15% it is at level 1. So it's only about a 2.5% difference. I wish there was more to it, but unfortunately that's all we got at this point. But also do remember, Boo is a 50% passive, and Turles is a 40% passive. So we're still going to get a respectable number out. Alright, so we only got 25.2, and we have a little damage on Goku from the prior event, but he's still not dead. He's still alive and kicking. Look at how much health he's still got left. So you've got to hit him with something that's really close to like 200 million damage. There's some argument as to whether you can do this with level 1 links. I'm going to say, just for the sake of simplicity, don't even try it. Just make sure you level up a few links. I found that actually the levels that I'm at right now are more than enough to pull this off. So let's jump over to the successful run and see the difference. So once again, I have all the orbs changed. And as you'll see here in just a moment, we've got all our link levels, and we have this cell here. And that cell is actually going to link up in a number of phenomenal ways. the sheer amount of links that we're going to get out of this partnership, so to speak, is going to speak volumes to the amount of damage that we're actually going to see here. So if I pause here for some Messenger from the Future, Ultimate Life Form, and Fierce Battle. Starting with Messenger from the Future, you'll see that it is an attack 8%, so we're going to have 8% there. Kamehameha is going to give us another 6.5%. When performing a super attack, it is going to be linked only because we will do an SA. It just won't show yet. Attack and defense 25%, but we have to have HP below 90%. If this was level 10, we would have this linked up, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get that farmed up in time, so we are unfortunately not going to have that linked. If we did, imagine how much more damage after you see the final numbers that we would have here. But Attack of the Clones, this is another 3%. I don't believe that's actually linked up on this one. I think that one is another one that actually isn't really relevant in this situation. Ultimate Life Form absolutely is. Ultimate Life Form is going to be 5% and Key 2. Not that that's going to matter, but the extra 5% will add significantly, and we already know that Fierce Battle is 17.5%. We've already kind of seen that, so that's not really news here. Now, the one thing I want you to consider, all of that actually adds up, and the 40% from Turles is on top of that. So while it seems like Boo at 50% might be adequate, you're going to get so much more out of getting a link partner. But this isn't really the purpose of the video. We're going to be talking about that, obviously, how much we're going to be doing there. But we're actually going to see here in just a moment how much more damage you're going to get out of this unit when you actually get an attack that's effective with all these links and everything added up. So hold the phone here for just a moment. Let's get to that. We're going to have every orb. We've got all 23 orbs. There's 5% on top of everything else. And Turles is 40%. And all the link skills. This should be a really, really, really substantial number. All right. So our attack stat is, and I'm going to pause it here for a second, 26.7 million. So just a little bit more, honestly. And I'm going to put this in my number calculator thing, my doodad, my phone. And we're going to come up with an actual number. Now, remember, this is times 6.65. But that's if this wasn't a critical. Unfortunately, because it's a critical, it kind of fudges the numbers a little bit. And I don't really have a chance to go back in and redo this. But I will tell you that that comes out to be 177 million damage. So with critical, you could say it's probably well north of 200 million damage. But that would still be 177 million damage. And if there's one thing you could take away from this, it's that while this is displaying 99,999,999, obviously the calculations are much higher. Now, I think a lot of us classically have been trained to believe that this is maximum damage, but I think this proves once and for all this actually is not the upper limit of damage. Now, we do know with Chain Battle you can get wild and crazy numbers out of that, way above what you're able to see here. So perhaps when Chain Battle was implemented, the only thing I could think is maybe at that point they actually just raised the damage limit to another decimal. And maybe we just don't know. Maybe there's just no crazy... We can't even attain the upper limit of damage at that point. But this used to, at one point in time, unless I'm mistaken, this used to actually be maximum damage. So don't get too excited. When you see all 9s, you may not actually win this. You really need to go in. You need to find the right linking partners. You need to level up your links, and you need to take advantage. Now, if you really want to, you can build the team that I built. It's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. But let's go grab our rewards, shall we? So here we are. We're going to go in here to our missions, and we're going to snag all those juicy, juicy, juicy dragon stones. That's really what we're here for. All right. Accept all. Bam. There's our 5 dragon stones. So that's the event, guys. Basically, if you want to build the team, you saw it there at the beginning. You can back it up, go take a look at it. But the long and the short of it is I was using Tech Cell for the attack. I was using the LR cell for a link partner, the Int LR cell for a link partner. There might be a better link partner out there, but he had most of the links up there. And once again, if you want to guarantee this, get all your links on Tech Cell up to level 10, especially big bad bosses, and you're going to be in great shape. But that's the event, guys. Go win it. Get your 5 dragon stones. I know it's a lot of work for 5 dragon stones, but it's free dragon stones, guys. It's totally worth. We got more stuff coming up. I'll be back at you guys with more Dokkan Battle here really, really soon.